In a quiet village nestled between mountains, there lived a humble stonecutter. His days were long and difficult, chiseling away at rocks with only his hammer and chisel as companions. Yet, despite his hard work, he often found himself envious of others. One evening, as he sat outside his modest home after a long day, he saw a wealthy merchant pass by in a grand caravan, his robes flowing, his riches evident. The stonecutter sighed, wishing he could live a life of comfort and luxury, free from the burden of labor. How wonderful it must be, he thought, to be so powerful and free. The next day, as he worked, he noticed a group of mighty kings on horseback, their crowns glinting in the sunlight. They were on a grand parade, their subjects bowing in respect. "They are the rulers of all," the stonecutter mused. What would it be like to have such authority and command? As time passed, the stonecutter's longing for another life grew. One day, he gazed up at the towering mountains that surrounded his village. They stood unmoving and eternal, their peaks piercing the sky. "I would trade anything to be as strong and unyielding as the mountains," he thought. "They cannot be moved, and nothing can harm them." Then, one night, as he lay restless in his bed, a mystical spirit appeared to him in a dream. The spirit spoke in a gentle voice, "I have heard your wishes, stonecutter. You have sought power, wealth, and strength, but I will show you the truth." The spirit transported him to a vision of the merchant, the king, and the mountains. The merchant's riches were weighed down by debts he could never repay, the king's crown was heavy with the burden of his people's suffering, and the mountains were weathered by storms and time, eroding slowly with every passing century. The stonecutter was struck by the realization. Each life, no matter how powerful or grand, had its own challenges, struggles, and burdens. Even the mountains, so seemingly eternal, were vulnerable to the passage of time. When the vision faded, the stonecutter awoke, his heart lighter. He now understood that every role in life, even the humble one he had, held its own value. Contentment was not found in longing for someone else's life, but in embracing the present and appreciating what he had. From that day on, the stonecutter worked with gratitude, recognizing that his craft, though simple, brought beauty and strength to the world. He no longer envied others, for he knew that true happiness came not from what he didn't have, but from fully embracing who he was. Sometimes we look at others and think their life is easier or better than our own. But what if the secret to happiness lies in appreciating who we are right now? How have you found gratitude in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's learn some interesting words from this story. Envy, meaning jealousy. Example, he felt envy when he saw the merchant's wealth. Contentment, meaning satisfaction. Example, he found contentment in his simple life. Gratitude, meaning thankfulness. Example, he learned gratitude for his life. Admire, meaning to respect or look up to. Example, he admired the unyielding mountains. Illusion, meaning a false belief. Example, his envy was just an illusion. Insight, meaning a deep understanding. Example, he had a moment of insight about life. Humble, meaning modest. Example, the stonecutter led a humble life. Resentment, meaning bitterness. Example, he felt resentment toward the rich merchants. Unyielding, meaning not giving up. Example, the unyielding mountains withstood the storm. Harmony, meaning balance and peace. Example, he found harmony within himself. Subscribe to Fairy Tale Spell for more stories that inspire growth, mindfulness, and self-discovery. Let's create a world where everyone learns to celebrate their own light.